Hey listeners, today we welcome Harshit Agarwal, CEO at Appknox. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Asian Entrepreneur, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups with an occasional famous name, so we can get entrenched in the mindset and activities that made them who they are today. Lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Here's your host, Rajiv.
Hi Harshit, welcome to the Asian Entrepreneur Pilot Show.
Hi Rajiv.
Okay, before we go deep more into Appknox, let me just give you a brief intro. Harshit was born in 1990 at Churu, Rajasthan, India. He comes from a business family, has one sister who's a product designer and is works towards social causes and wants to start a food truck. Wow, that's interesting. He's educated in his BTech at KIIT University. Harshit is no newcomer to startups and entrepreneurship, having done 3 prior ventures with different levels of success, or in his own diplomatic words, different levels of failure. The first started right after college. The second, End My Logistic Company, which was doing quite good, but did not secure funding. I think this was during the pre-funding era in India. The third startup focused too much on building product and again ran out of funding. Post which he went back to his family business for around 3 months, but realized it's not something that gave him enough drive. And finally moved to Bangalore, post which Appknox was born. He has always been a techie and now is moved to the business development side, managing fundraising and sales at Appknox. Having built the company from idea stage to generating more than $100,000 a year. He's doing great, working with more than 40 top mobile app companies in India and Southeast Asia. Welcome, Harshit, and glad to have you on our pilot show. Firstly, did I miss anything in the intro?
No, thanks a lot, Rajiv. That covered a lot. It's great to be at pilot show of Asian Entrepreneur.
Yeah. So just want to check, your company is based in India and Singapore, number one. So how does that work?
Yeah, so we have our main company registered out of Singapore. That's the headquarter.
Okay.
And subsidiary is in India. But our team and everything is based out in India itself.
Okay. And any co-founders?
Yeah, I have got, we are 3 co-founders in Appknox.
Okay.
And one handles the security part, the whole tech stack.
Okay.
And his name is Sobo Haldar, and Prateek Panda handles the marketing. He comes from the marketing background, and before joining Appknox, he used to run his tech blog startup in India. It was called The Tech Panda.
Oh, I know that. Okay, I've heard of that. Okay.
Oh, nice, awesome. Yeah, so he's founder of The Tech Panda.
Okay, that's great. So your technology development happens in India, I guess.
Yeah, everything is managed in India except we have got a very small team in Singapore that takes care of sales over there. That's it.
Okay. So firstly, what inspired you or what inspired the idea for Appknox to be born?
Yeah, so what happened was in my early startup, we used to build mobile applications and apps, everything around it. And my co-founder was a security researcher back then as well, and he used to find security issues. Mm-hmm. And one fine day, while I was just working with my app and everything, he just sent me my whole database with my all customer records and everything. So back then itself, I realized that I considered myself as a good developer, but I was nowhere around it because I didn't know much around security and stuff around it. So that was something that pushed me from that itself, that okay, if something I have to do, that has to be something around security or helping techies cover the gap that they have in building a quality product rather than building a product that's workable.
Superb. Okay, and so basically a loophole in your own product made you start Appknox.
Yeah, so that was what inspired me, and yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, and so tell us more about Appknox, like current the product. So just listeners know what Appknox is.
Yeah, so as you rightly mentioned, we work with enterprises and developers and help them find issues and fix bugs. So Appknox was started with a vision of securing the mobility. When I talk about mobility, it does not restrict itself to mobile apps only.
Okay.
It extends to connected devices, Internet of Things. That's again a hot word right now.
Yep.
So it in general covers the whole connected devices and connected world that we are thinking of going ahead. So security is something that's the most crucial bit in it. And whenever we discuss Internet of Things or anything in connected devices, security is the topic that comes before any other discussion on where are we going ahead with it, because that's what is stopping us moving ahead. So Appknox is trying to bridge that gap and make companies and connected devices more and more secure.
Okay, great. And how does one actually, or customer actually enroll into Appknox or start using Appknox as such? I mean, what's the customer journey as such?
So we have built a platform. It's very simple to use for developers and for managers who don't have tech knowledge. They can also come and upload the app. They only need the Play Store URL to upload their app. And once they give the Play Store URL, they have to do is interact with their app in cloud-hosted devices. We have built a pool of devices in cloud, and we run their app in those devices. And those devices are again in-house built that looks for complete data flow and where exactly hacker can get access to any crucial information while user is interacting with those apps. And wherever we are able to find any security loopholes, we tell them that, okay, your app is leaking out information. So they need not have technical knowledge to work with Appknox. They only need to do is upload their app and interact with their app. That's it.
Oh, excellent. So I was reading on your site, you had found loopholes in the Facebook app and Google app, etc., right?
Yes. So before, as I mentioned, my co-founder was into security, and he was a speaker at conferences like Black Hat and all.
Okay.
And along with it, he used to find out loopholes in big companies. So he has detected loopholes in Facebook. He has detected loopholes in Skype, then in Apple, Microsoft, and almost all big companies. And he's listed in the Whitehall list and all. So yeah.
Okay. And at what stage of, let's say, funding are you at? After initially was probably bootstrapped. Post that?
Yeah, so we have just closed our funding, though it's again not in public. But yeah, we have closed a good amount of round for seed funding. It's pre-Series A, to be specific. But yeah, it's going great since I mentioned that we have just closed our year 2015 and we found out that we've crossed $100,000 of revenue.
Excellent.
So seeing this good progress and everything, we are planning to expand to a global level, and that's what we need funding for. So
yeah, I guess being a online company,
we have raised funding.
Going global is not tough. Yep.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
So what does your average day look like, Harshit? I mean, since you are moved to business development.
Yeah, so before I started a startup, I used to go for cycling and quite a lot of things that used to, like, they all used to be part of my day. I used to go for cycling early morning, then come by 8:39, then freshen up and go to office and all. But yeah, recently I had to decrease those all things a lot because it gets pretty late at night to finish everything and get back to home. And we are already tired. It's like not only physical tired, but yeah, mentally also, because it's all trained off till evening and night. So mostly I have chugged with most of my other stuffs. Like I was part of cycling group in Bangalore. I was quite active in it. Then along with it, I was also part of trekking group, camping group, and also.
Excellent.
It all has gone chugged off, but yeah. Still, I go for jogging a bit early morning, so that
and then the rest of the day is work.
Yeah, it's all work. Like from home itself, I start like emails and everything. It's the first thing I see after I wake up. So
correct. Okay, and since you are handling kind of the business dev side now, what characteristics do you consider when entering into a business relationship with partners or customers as such?
Yeah, what's most important in maintaining the business relations is you have to be in touch with them.
Okay.
You have to constantly make them believe that okay, you are there before starting working with them also, because it's not the commercial terms only that build the relation, but more than that, it's the network, and it's the bond that you have to build with your customers. So with most of the customers that we are working with, as I mentioned, we are working with 40 plus app businesses in India and Southeast Asia. Most of their team knows me very well. They know me personally, and before getting engaged in commercial model, we had helped them find out issues and help them fix those. So it's not only money that drives business, but many other things that is more crucial in it.
Oh, great. Okay. And do you also look into the hiring aspect of your business?
Yeah, I do look hiring. In our company, we have made it very much clear it's not like a proper HR
Correct.
kind of person that we need. But if I'm taking care of fundraising and business development, I'll be hiring people for business development. If Pratik is taking care of marketing, he takes care of complete marketing team, and he'll be taking care of hiring for marketing. But in general, we do help each other in interviews and all, because if it's a startup, so generally there's one feature that's like they have to be compatible with the work culture that we have, and it's very much open. But still there are some things that we need to see before we hire guys. So work culture, fit, and everything we do check. All three of us get on call with any hire, and make sure that we are comfortable, and then only we get them on board.
And since you're in the growth phase, what characteristics are you looking for in your future employees that you're planning to onboard? I mean, is there anything, since you're a group?
So the most important characteristic that we look for in our future employees is that they should take the ownership, because since we are, as I mentioned, we are planning to go global. So it's a bit difficult as well, because in that case we will be traveling a lot. We might not be here always. We might not be reachable as well. So if they don't take ownership, it will be very difficult for us to work with them, or for them to work with us. So anybody we hire, we make sure that whatever is their responsibility, they should be ready to do more than that and take the ownership of whatever they have taken.
Correct. Great. So now moving away, you actually went back to your dad's business and realized it wasn't enough drive. But what actually drove you? I mean, what was the actual tipping point where you decided this wasn't for you and it was entrepreneurship that was for you?
Yeah, so I went back to my dad's business when my third business did not work well. And my whole family was pissed off at me, because I had already wasted my 2.5, 3 years and did not prove anything. And then working with him for 3 months, I realized that I'm not adding any value to his business. That again is a it's basically, it's not a startup kind of ecosystem and all.
Correct.
What he has built is a lifestyle business where he'll be earning certain amount of money, and that's good enough to survive. But that's not like something that I had imagined when I thought of entrepreneurship and starting my own company and building it to something big. So working after 3 months, I realized that either I'm not going to survive in this particular ecosystem, or if I try to survive, then I'll lose what I have in myself, and I'll not be what I am, or I have to change myself a lot. So I just told my dad that, okay, give me another 1 or 2 months. I'll probably try my level best and work on it. Though my dad was with me, but my other family members, they kept on calling me. When I came back to Bangalore also, they called me and told that you should probably get back to your own business. You're wasting your time. You've already wasted 3 years of your life. You don't realize that it's very crucial and all.
I think that's very typical of Indian families. So
and coming from business family, I think they still don't understand what exactly I do. But they know that it's going good. But it's hard for them to understand.
So who are the great big influencers in your life, Harshit?
So in my life, my dad is the biggest influencer. Because from day one, he had supported me when I was back to his business and wanted to move out. He was the only person who told, okay, you should go ahead and do what you want to do. Along with it, I am also influenced by a couple of big guys like Richard Branson, because it was his book that I read in my college that inspired me to start something. It was Screw It, Let's Do It. So I read a lot in that book and realized that okay, it's not that difficult to do a business and make money out of it. Yeah, but all you require is keep on trying and trying,
Correct.
and you'll someday reach there.
So from your dad or Mr. Branson, what was the best advice or wisdom you've got or been given rather?
So from my dad, it was so basically he only motivated me to keep on trying rather than
Oh,
giving up.
great. Okay. Okay.
And there were moments when like startups did not work, and like there were three continuous failures, and I realized that okay, it's not working ahead and all. And my dad gave me an option that why not try the business side and all other sides as well. I was more kind of a techie. I thought myself
Correct.
that I'll not never leave the techie side of mine. But yeah, I realized that I've learned a lot from him during my childhood days by going back to his shop, and he used to run a jewelry shop, so I used to go back to his shop and try to learn a bit, and that I think that came from him only, that selling and doing business development and everything around it.
Okay. And what do you measure as success? Is it the bottom line, lifestyle, or family?
I think it's a combination of family and lifestyle.
Okay.
Because I have met quite a lot of founders. Some of them also are on my advisory board.
Okay.
They have attained a lot in their life, but again, one or two of them had screwed their family in like building great startups and everything. So I realized that okay, family is equally important.
Okay.
So I think there needs to be a balance between everything, business, lifestyle, and family.
Correct.
While in startup, you have to like negotiate a bit on family part, but yeah, you cannot completely neglect it.
Correct. Correct. And were there any moments you want to give up on your endeavors completely?
Yeah, there were quite a lot of moments when I sort of like going back to my normal startup, life of doing jobs and everything. So before running my first startup itself, and I was not able to get that push or that initialization, I thought of like going back to my offer. I got through HCL and TCS, and I thought of going back to those companies. But yeah, again, my current co-founder Pratik Panda, he's a good friend, so he told me that you should do what you want to do from heart. There will be times when you don't have money or you don't have any support or anything, but yeah, at the end of the day, you will realize that you're happy because you did what you wanted to do. So then I like that moment. If
Excellent. Okay.
Pratik would have not been there, then I would have like went ahead with my TCS or
Okay,
HCL offer
okay.
rather than pursuing my first startup.
So, just for the listeners out here, what do you consider as your worst failure in product creation, or in lines with what was the lowest point in your entrepreneurial career actually till date?
Yeah, so in my third product, we were building a platform which any e-commerce could integrate, which would offer a coupon kind of thing that's offered
Okay.
by Freecharge and coupon and Paytm.
Correct.
And we had built a brilliant product, but I think we focused a lot on building product, but not going to market.
Correct.
And we had built a product that was scalable, that could be used by thousands of e-commerce companies, and it had no flaw, like kind of no flaw till we knew, but yeah, I had no
Correct.
flaw and everything. But yeah, going to market, we delayed a lot. And till the time we realized that going to market or getting customers or building traction, not revenue, is important. Because when we go to investors also, they don't only see product, they want to see a bit of traction, because that proves the stuff that your product
I see.
is viable.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel because I've been through the same boat of concentrating too much on product.
Yeah, initially I think techies land up in that itself because
Yeah.
they love their product a lot.
Correct.
But with time you realize that products are important, but
Right.
along with it, going to market, building customer base are equally important.
Yeah.
Revenue, I would still not give it
Correct. Traction, I think,
importance
is
because
yeah.
because revenue comes with time. All you need is people get used to your product, they keep on using, and then they have to pay you.
And what made you think, okay, decided, because you're so, I think startup founders are so touched by their own product, that where do you feel like, okay, this is the point to stop your third startup and do something else?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge was that my bank account was totally empty. So I had taken a lot from my dad already.
Yeah.
And for Appknox also, we started that with itself because that was my last startup, and he financially helped me a lot in all of my startups. But yeah, in third startup, we realized that it's not going to work, and we reached out to companies they were interested in working. But yeah, along with it, fundraising was equally important.
Correct.
And we realized that we are like very behind. From fundraising because we need to have customers, and for customers we didn't have office space as well.
Correct.
So we had to make a decision. We were 3-member team, and one of them also planned to move out. So I thought of moving out myself as well.
Great.
Because so that was a difficult call. I like it took me around 1 or 2 weeks to decide on like whether should I move out or should I just try to.
That's the risk
it,
factor in startups, I think, which you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, and since you meet so many people like investors and different mentors and people who want to join you, have you ever dissociated yourself from someone who didn't mesh with your mission or your path or your goal?
Sorry, can you pardon?
Yeah. So have you like not aligned with someone who wasn't on the same mission as you or didn't align with your goals?
Yeah, there were quite a lot of people.
Okay.
In fact, there are like many people who came and told their vision for our product, but yeah, I didn't see myself going there because that was not something I was planning to build.
Okay.
And there were like quite big influencers in Indian startup ecosystem also who came and told me that okay, you should probably look at this particular thing, you should probably give everything for free, and like there were many advices, and we were very much clear what we wanted to do with Appknox, not from day one but yeah eventually. And when we started working with customers, we used to take customers advice, but yeah advisors and everything we generally listen them, but yeah we don't take all advice, we do our validation part before
I'm sure you get a lot of recommendations to pivot also. So
Yeah. Quite a lot of them say that, okay, you should start offering for free in India. It might not work in India. But to be very frank, around $70,000 to $80,000 in a year we got from India, and rest 20% was from Singapore. So majority of revenue is coming from India. So we knew that we would be able to do it. It's a crucial problem. People are concerned about it. So
I guess if your product is so good and you know it's good, I'm sure people will be willing to pay for it, you know?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I think.
Okay, now just a few insights for our listeners is, what do you believe is the most important element to success in business or starting a company?
I think it's co-founders that you have because they will be like, I think it's kind of a marriage that you have with your co-founder. You have to be as clear as husband and wife. If there's any kind of confusion or any doubt, it won't survive because your whole team and everything is relied on it. Your crucial decision in today, even if business development I take without their concern, they'll get hurt about it, and like they'll not like it because they are equally the part of Appknox as I am, and they need to be a clear crystal clarity between all three of them or all co-founders, and they will be people who will be standing with you when you don't have anything. Not Correct. Today, but yeah, tomorrow.
And do you believe everyone has the potential to be a success in his own cause or business or startup?
Yeah, I think, everyone has got that potential. Only the thing is, they need to realize what they are good at. Like, as I mentioned that I come from tech background, and when we started Appknox, I had coded first version of Appknox, and parallelly my technical co-founder had coded one, and we compared both of them, and then we made a call that okay, I'll not get into tech stuff anymore. So
that's a difficult step to take, being a techie.
Yeah, and then I started learning everything. All business terms were jargons for me. When someone used to say, I used to come back, just note it down and come back and Google and learn about it, so that next time I'm prepared for it. But yeah, eventually I learned it. So I think, and I think I'm not to be overconfident, but yeah, I'm good at it. And I think in the future also I'll stick to sales or BD only. I'll not get into tech again because I've enjoyed it a lot, and I think it's something that drives me more than tech now.
Great.
So one has to be open in learning and getting into everything. And in startup, you get to try everything.
Great.
So the best part is you get to explore all potentials you have, and then you can choose what you're good at, and what you're not good at, you can hire people for that.
I think startup gives you that liberty to try everything. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick fire round. When people ask you, like your relatives ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that in one sentence?
So if directors ask me what do, I just say them I am into sales.
Okay.
As simple.
Okay, and when you think of the word successful, who is the first person that comes to your mind and why?
Again, Richard Branson.
Okay. The why part is pretty self-answered in that. What are the most common misconceptions about you?
So, biggest misconception can be I'm very much frank. So most of the company, team, and everybody, I say everything straightforward. So they sometimes consider me as rude, but yeah, it's not rude. I'm like, I don't have that filter portion. Whatever I have in mind, I just say.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you excel at that people might not realize?
So I think I'm good at expressing what I want to say and convincing people. So in case of fundraising also, I was able to get good VCs and angels on board. In sales also, I'm able to handle. So I think I'm good at convincing people.
Okay. And if you lost everything, what steps would you take to become successful again?
Yeah, if I think I've been there though, but yeah, I would again start something new in either in travel or something, because that's something that drives me most at this moment.
Okay.
I want to travel a lot, and that's more kind of adventure traveling and everything around it.
Okay. Okay. Now, just a final. This thing is, what final piece of advice do you want to give our listeners that they can take back when they are starting their business or already conducting their business?
Yeah, I think they should hold on to, like, if whatever worst condition they get into, they should stick to their business. I've seen a lot with not my three, but Appknox as well. All three of us were like completely bankrupted. We were incubated at Microsoft Ventures Accelerator, and we didn't have single penny in our bank account. And we used to have lunch at Microsoft Ventures. In dinner, we used to drink tea and coffee from coffee machine, and breakfast we used to have at Microsoft Ventures, and we used to stay at that place itself. So yeah. We used to manage our whole day without paying anything, because we didn't have anything, and we could have gone back and told that okay, this might not work out, and look for some jobs and everything. But yeah, that does not mean after a year you will be nowhere around. Last year we were nowhere, and today we are doing pretty good. So yeah.
Okay, listeners. So just to highlight, business relationships are not only commercial but also building a bond. And as Harshit says, co-founders are very important, and it's almost like a marriage. Okay, now, Harshit, where do you want our listeners to go to get more info? Can you just let them know?
Yeah, you can go to appknox.com. You'll get everything about me or about my company.
Okay.
And
any special giveaways you have for our listeners today?
Yes, definitely. Because as you have heard that I've failed a lot in my startup, and I think support whatever way startups get is helpful. Okay. So I think we are moving to a new space, and I would like to give space to startup who is interested and is good. Okay. That really we like. So they can send us details about their startup and all, and if we really like it, we'll be probably giving them free office space without any rent or any other return.
So listeners, startups in Bangalore and maybe Singapore soon, you have taken note of that. Please email Harshit directly. Okay, Harshit, thanks again for being on our show, and hope to talk to you soon in another episode. And again, all the best to you and your team.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. Our hope is that you are encouraged by what you've heard, and you can put these same concepts and mindsets to use with your own style. See you next time as we discover more about what it takes to be an accomplished entrepreneur. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.